Hello, air travel lovers. This is Ken, currently in Hong Kong International Airport. Tonight, I'll be going for my own personal record. Not only will it be my longest flight, it is also Cathay's longest flight. CX844, departing from Hong Kong at 3 a.m. to New York, has a flight time of over 15 hours. And now, let's go check in.
With my Marco Polo Club Diamond membership, check-in was smooth and efficient at the first-class podium desk as I was once again welcomed by Michelle, who has been in my previous videos. Farewell to the cabin and my Christmas 2022 flight to London. Passing through immigration, I am here at the Wing First Class Lounge. It is already past midnight, and this already very exclusive lounge feels even more tranquil and private. CX844 is Cathay's last departure before sunrise, and note that unless you arrive at the airport quite early, the Wing, which closes after the last Cathay departure, is the only lounge you can use as the deck and the pier both close shortly after midnight. While this Cathay lounge is not the newest one they have, it is still a great showcase of understated luxury design and has a quiet, relaxing atmosphere. By the way, this flight was filmed back in March 2023 when Cathay's flight network was still pretty limited compared to now, so this also adds to the lounge being pretty quiet. While most parts of the lounge looked as good as they always have been, Cathay was still gearing up its network again after the COVID hit, and some of the lounge chairs here were broken and out of service. The lounge dining experience is a priority for many travelers, including me. Quite obvious if you have watched my previous videos. But departing so late at night, or rather so early in the morning, it is a much more muted affair. The Haven restaurant, which provides a curated a la carte dining experience, closes at midnight, and so you will have to make do with the open area outside. For me, a light menu is perfect at 1 a.m, but passengers looking to dig into a big sumptuous meal in the restaurant will be disappointed. I got some fresh fruits accompanied by a BBQ pork bun, Rodiamo, not sure if this is how it is pronounced. My healthy supper concluded with a cup of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. While the late night menu is pared back, the wine list fortunately hasn't been. And any occasion to fly deserves a celebration with a glass of bubbles. Waiting for my 3:20 a.m. departure, and with an ultra-long flight ahead, the cabana in the lounge was definitely something I couldn't miss. While the cabanas get very busy before the long-haul European departures before midnight, I easily got one of the 5 at these late hours. I believe no one would disagree that the cabanas is the signature element of the Wing First Class Lounge. Each is well appointed and come with a large bathtub and rain shower facilities. And most importantly, a comfortable daybed for those who want some shut-eye before their flight. After a comfortable bath, it was time to head to the gate. My flight to JFK was set to depart from gate 67, very close to the pier lounge, which had long closed for the night. The automatic train that takes you closer to gates 40 and beyond was also out of service at this hour, and the complimentary buggy transfers for Diamond members were also unavailable. So the only option was to walk from gate 1 to gate 67. Not really a problem for me as I enjoy walking, especially in airports, but just bear in mind the extra time needed if you're flying on this flight one day. Arriving at gate 67, there were security officers interviewing passengers as required by the US authorities. Luckily, priority passengers could jump the long queue and the process was quick and efficient. Boarding was conducted in an orderly manner with the priorities well enforced. All in all, a great start to the flight on this Cathay Pacific Airbus A350-900 that will soon fly me over the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, now boarding. was a time when I was lonely. I was trying hard to get back, taking day by day. But baby, then you came along. I know I never felt that strong. Nothing's gonna hold us down. Yeah, we are taking off the ground now. Stay with me.
Door members, it's a pleasure to see you again. From the moment you begin your journey, we're here to make the experience effortlessly smooth and enjoyable. The culture of safety is important to us. Please take a few minutes to watch our video.
由而家開始，我哋會展開一段舒適、清新嘅飛行旅程。請用幾分鐘留意呢段短片。
Someone in healing constellation. You and me were in the moment we've been waiting for. Come summer, winter, fall, or spring. No matter what the future brings, nothing's gonna hold us down. 'Cause we are taking off the ground now. Stay with me. We're aiming for the sky. Anywhere we'll get there by and by.
As we settle down in the air, let us explore the business class cabin of this Airbus 350-900 aircraft. All of Cathay's long-haul aircrafts feature the reverse herringbone business class seats that are laid out in a 1-to-1 configuration. The business class cabin with 38 seats on board the A350 is split into two parts, with the main cabin between doors 1 and 2, and a mini cabin with only 8 seats after door 2 and before premium economy. To maximize privacy, I picked 21A, window seat on the last row of the mini cabin. Storage is very important to me, and I am glad that not only is there a small cabinet next to the window for placing some items to keep handy and a socket for charging electronics, there's also a bigger compartment down here. This foldable tray table comes out from the side, and the seat controls and reading lamp are all conveniently located next to the seat. The 18-inch television screen is also very sharp and very easy to use. Cathay was the winner of the 2023 Skytrax World's Best In-Flight Entertainment Award, and the system really does feature a bewildering selection. However, you can also choose to pay and connect to the in-flight Wi-Fi if you prefer scrolling on your phone instead. Each passenger is also provided with a Benefit-branded amenity kit, which includes a set of skincare products, an eye mask, a pair of earplugs, and some tooth care goodies. Each seat is also preset with a pair of slippers and a bedding set. And now, perhaps it's time for our taste buds to sit back, but maybe not relax, as they will be enjoying the Cathay in-flight dining experience.
我想問一陣間起飛之後咧，你想食啲咩㗎？
我想start with 我要個 salad 啦。
跟住個 main 咧，main 你想要？
個 main 我想要個 pork chop。
pork chop 好啊，要唔要飲啲乜嘢？
如果有湯剩就俾個湯我啦，你冇就算。
好啊，咁其他嘢飲咩需唔需要㗎？
要個 cafe delight。
cafe delight 好啊，
同埋要杯香檳嚟計。
好，冇問題嘅。
唔該晒。With the very late night departure, instead of the standard 3-course meal, Cathay provided a simplified supper menu on this flight, which consisted of a main course and a dessert. This decision is to maximize rest for the passengers, but for me personally, someone who enjoys dining on board, I was slightly disappointed as the meal really was on the very simple side for a long-haul business class flight. And compared to my previous cafe dining experiences, the dishes today were all fairly bland, with nothing standing out. My taste buds were honestly slightly disappointed. As the meal service concluded and the sun began to rise as we flew over Japan, it was time to make the bed for a sleep.
While some 5-star airlines like QR and SQ would proactively make the bed for their business class passengers, the bedding kit on CX is designed for passengers to make their own bed without needing to wait for a crew member. I have no doubt the crew would be very willing to help if asked though. I also changed into Cathay's first class sleep suit, which I brought with me from a previous flight before heading to sleep. By the time I woke up, we were already flying past Russia and will soon be approaching Alaska. Not a baked one, I'm afraid, but in case you are hungry, which obviously I was, there was a wide variety of packaged snacks in the galley. I also made a request for some savory items from the all-day section in the menu. I would say the laksa noodles were delicious and significantly better than the main course I had for supper. Shortly after this light meal, the sun began setting as we approached North America. I decided to do some work on my laptop before hitting the hay again. Breakfast was served around 2 hours prior to arrival. There were 5 breakfast set options: wellness, lighter, Chinese, Western, and express. I picked the wellness breakfast option. After the refreshing breakfast, I headed to the lavatory to brush my teeth and get changed. Returning to my seat, I recharged myself with a big warm cup of cappuccino before being greeted by the in-flight service manager, who deliberately came by to say goodbye and thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I will check. Thank you. Yeah, we'll distribute. Okay. Hello everyone. We will shortly be arriving at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Cabin crew, please conduct your pre-landing checks. Thank you.
As we began our approach into New York JFK, let's sum things up. To start off, and you may be surprised by this, I'm sure you see that I do a lot of Cathay flight reviews, but this was actually my first time flying them in business class on a long-haul flight. I'll describe this flight as satisfactory, bordering on mediocre. Put another way, there was nothing particularly memorable looking back on the flight as I edited the video 1 year afterwards. Good things first, Cathay's business class product is one of my favorites in the industry, thanks to its spaciousness and storage space, and so the cabin and the seat were great as usual. But when we move on to the F&B offerings on this flight, I wasn't too happy. Yes, I understand this was a very late departure, and no, of course I did not go hungry at any point during the flight, but I do believe that variety in F&B offerings in premium cabins is very important, and the food selection tonight was quite lacking. The food itself was also rather unremarkable. I have had far better meals on short-haul Cathay flights, for instance. For breakfast in particular, before Cathay changed its service flow in 2019, they used to serve breakfasts one course at a time, starting with fruits, cereals, yogurts, and then the main course. All this has now been discontinued, replaced with a one-tray set. While I appreciate the new wellness offerings such as the new superfood bowl, which was quite delicious, it is quite sad as the overall breakfast portion is now smaller and you have less flexibility to mix and match different food items. As for the service, it was somewhat bare bones. The cabin crew members were attentive, but slightly cold and a bit more distant than usual in my opinion. Overall, while I did enjoy the flight, there are improvements that Cathay can make to enhance the flying experience on their longest and presumably flagship route. Of course, while my review this time is not very positive, based on my many other times flying with Cathay, I still very much recommend our Hong Kong flag carrier.
Welcome to New York. It's been a pleasure taking care of you today. If New York is home, a very welcome home. Thank you for flying Cathay Pacific, a member of the One World Alliance. Good morning.
永嚟到紐約，我哋好高興可以為你服務，同你一齊度過呢趟愉快嘅中文程。如果你一家嚟紐約，歡迎你翻嚟。多謝你選擇每日帶情放喺航空，期待再次喺我哋嘅航班上嘅見面。各位乘客，再見。
Thank you for relishing the air travel experience with me today. May I invite you to join me in savoring our next journey.